All right, so we're doing our summer sale, 2020 Steam sale again. Just me here today. Justin's got his picks as well. They'll be included in the description down below, so you can see what he's going to be touting as his picks as well, and then you get the best of both. Alright, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. First of all, what I'd like to say is that these are all games that I played. Again, they're not from 2019 or something like that. Some of them will be very old, but I just this year got around to playing, and they're in no order of greatness or whatever. And at the end of the list, I'm going to include a couple of games, as I always do, that are games that I don't actually own yet, but I'll be looking to pick up in the sale when it comes. Alright, so here we go. First one is Procession to Calvary. This is done by the guy who made Four Last Things, and if you liked Four Last Things, then you're going to love this, because it's basically a level up version of Four Last Things. It's funnier, bigger, more beautiful. It's got everything going for it. It's the historic low for this game is $9 because it's a fairly new game. So if you can grab it on the sale for a little bit less than $9, then you're in, and it's a good, I don't know, it took me a good 4 or 5 hours to finish it, so, but that was with lots of gawking as well. Next up on the list is Jackbox, the Jackbox Party Pack 2. Now, okay, it's up to about 6 now, I think, but I only own 2, and I've been playing it a lot with some friends because we've all been quarantined, so, playing this has been a lot of fun. There's 2 games that stick out in particular. Bidiots is great fun, where you bid on terrible artwork that you've drawn, and then you have to see who makes the most money. There's a little bit of a system where you can kind of like cheat with each other, and you've got like special information that others don't have about what paintings are worth more money, and you can kind of screw around with each other. The other game is called Fibbage, where you get to make you get like basically trivia questions with blanks in them, and you get to invent a lie, and if you make a very believable, funny lie, then you get lots of points, and it's really great. Unfortunately, the rest of the box set wasn't really for me. There's 5 games included, but for those 2 games alone, it's worth it. And the historic low is $5, and I've only played those 2 games, and I think I've got about 20 hours out of it so far, so it's definitely well worth the money. The Escaper has a historic low of 360. It's a set of, I think it was 5 escape rooms, and they're all well animated, and it's a fun game. They're quite difficult, but it's got a very Room style kind of feel to it. And so if you're into puzzle games like The Room and escape rooms, then really the Escaper is a no-brainer for you. It's quite cheap. This one is a bit weird. It's called In Other Waters. In Other Waters it's hard to describe. And it's not cheap either. So really watch this video and have a look and see if it's something that you might be interested in. It's a very niche indie title where it's basically Subnautica, and it's mostly minimalistic or pixelated art where you control the sub, you go around mining stuff, and you have to there's a story where you're trying to find someone who went missing on a voyage in this alien underwater environment, and you got to find them. And it's a really nice story that goes along with it. There's a lot of depth and complexity to it, but the historic low is quite pricey because it is a new title. It went for $13.50 before, so if you can get it below that, then and you like the look of the graphics and you want some kind of very cool and well thought out narrative game to play that focuses more on the story than the graphics, then this is for you. 2020 so far for me has been all about Cthulhu. I've got 3 Cthulhu games on my list here. First one is Moons of Madness. I got this for free because I basically played to death a game called Serrano's Story, where you could get a free key for this game. The historic low is $14. And yeah, I'd say it's worth that. I got a good dozen hours out of this game. It's a walking sim, more or less, set on Mars, where a crew has gone completely bananas, and you're the only sane man left. And so, can you kind of fix it? It does go a bit off the rails. The story does get a bit crazy, which is what you would expect, really, from kind of a Cthulhu game. And so speaking of Cthulhu, let's just go with the next one as well. The next one is Call of Cthulhu. There you go. Fascinating title for that. Call of Cthulhu historic low is $10, and it is exactly what it is. It's a game about Cthulhu. You are an investigator, of course. You are on a little fishing town in, I don't know, America or Canada somewhere, and there's been a few murders and a fire in a building where a bunch of people got killed, and you've been sent to investigate, yada, yada, yada. The story is a bit predictable, but there's not a lot of really decent Cthulhu-style games out there, in my opinion. And so for $10, this is, well, if you're a fan of this kind of genre, then yeah, go for it. Light Matter historic low is $10. I got it for 15 and I was still happy for that. I got it on launch day where it was like $5 off the total price. So I think it's 20 at base, but the historic has been 10. It's definitely worth $10 if you are a fan of Portal and a fan of the Talos Principle. Then Light Matter combines the both of them into one game. It's a lot simpler than both of them, so don't go in expecting too much. But for the price. The next one is a game which is it has an historic low of $0, which is a good price. But that's only on itch.io. Otherwise, $4 for you for this one. It's called Jeff. Jeff is made by this developer who made Alien Afterlife and that other one that's got a ridiculously long title. There it is there. He just makes these really weird art games that are so bizarre, but they're so unique, and I love playing them. They're so much fun and so strange that it's like taking drugs, but you're not taking drugs. So there you go. If you want to take drugs for free, get Jeff. Edit that out. Next one is Astrologaster. It's a historic low of $7. It's like a pop-up book. There's really not much to the game other than just going through scenarios and making choices. You are a doctor who uses the stars to diagnose people, and you'll be meeting real-life historical people. The guy who it's based off of is actually a real-life doctor. Well, I say doctor, inverted quotation marks here, inverted commas here. He was a bit of a charlatan, but he did predict his own death, and quite amazingly on the nose he was. So people today still think he's some kind of astrological genius and was the real thing. Other people say he was a complete hack. Well, you can play this game and you can decide that. It's full of humor. It's very Blackadder, Monty Python kind of humor. You get to interact with like people like Sir Walter Raleigh, the Queen, who was at the time like Victoria or Elizabeth. I can't remember, but yeah, it's a lot of fun, and you get to dabble and change the course of history. Next up is Black Mesa. I know I've talked about Black Mesa before, but Black Mesa the historic low is $5. I think it'll go on sale again in the summer sale because they've now finished Zen. And the reason I'm mentioning it to you again is because I finished it and it was totally worth the wait. Zen is beautiful. It is absolutely amazing. Zen is basically a whole new game in itself. They did an incredible job. An absolutely incredible job. They added to the lore. They've added so much stuff to it. I won't spoil it for you. Go and play it. Pick it up. $5. It's a 20-hour game, probably. Well worth it. Plague Tale. Plague Tale is kind of a mixed bag from some people. Some people love it. Some people hate it. There's not really a lot of people who are like meh about it. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it does share a lot of similarities with other kind of action adventure games like Tomb Raider and things like that. But I was fine. I really liked it. It's a plague of rats is taking over the world, and you are a girl, like a 15, 16-year-old girl, something like that, and your parents get killed right at the beginning, and it's a weird story about the Inquisition, and you've got to kind of protect your brother and get him out of there. Your brother's got some kind of weird role in it all. It's an interesting game, and it's like a triple A indie title, I suppose, is what you could class it as. $15 is maybe quite steep, but you'll get a lot of time out of it. Next one I'm going to mention is Oxenfree, because we talked about it here on the podcast. I decided to add... I had to make a decision between Kentucky Route Zero and Oxenfree, and I've gone with Oxenfree. A, because it's cheaper. The historic low is $2.30. And B, if you're the kind of person that wants to play Kentucky Route Zero, then you already know about it, and you'll already be on your way to pick that up in this sale anyway. But for general people who maybe wouldn't like Kentucky Route Zero, Oxenfree is like a Kentucky Route Zero light that you can kind of get into. It's a short game. It's fun. Listen to the podcast if you want to see if you'd like it. Listen up to the spoiler section and see if it's something you'd be interested in. Another game that's just popped into the Steam store recently that I wanted to recommend is Journey. Journey was a PlayStation 3 game, came out ages ago. It's just managed to get away from its Epic Game Store exclusive for 1 year. Finally landed on Steam, and it's pretty interesting. I knew nothing about this game. This game was pretty much dead to me because I didn't follow it at all. And then it pops into my wish list, and it's amazing. It's such a cool game. I wasn't really happy with how the co-op part started off, where other people were kind of playing my game and operating machinery and doing things without me. But towards the end of the game, you realize that the whole thing is about teamwork and working together. And when you don't have a partner, you're actually missing them. So it takes a special game to make me actually want to play co-op with somebody. And another one that was also another Epic Store exclusive was Outer Wilds has finally dropped on Steam as well. That game, I'm not going to say anything about it. It's basically like a Fisher-Price No Man's Sky. I don't even know if that makes sense, but there's a lot of weirdness to it as well. I think if you go to the store page and you like the look of the video and the art style, and you like the idea of flying a spaceship around and visiting distant worlds and doing, I don't even know what you're supposed to be doing in this game yet. It doesn't hold your hand. There's basically no tutorial. It's just like, go and explore the universe. So if that appeals to you, get the Outer Wilds. Last is a game called Neko. I didn't write down the subtext of the title. It's like Neko, blah, 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 blah. $3. It's an indie kind of puzzle walking sim kind of game. I liked it. It's very surreal. It's got like kind of like Escher, Dali kind of moments in it. It took me quite a while to finish. It was like 10 hours long for me. Yeah, good times. Neko was great. I really liked it, and it was just one of the games as I was going through my list. I didn't want to really repeat any games that I've talked about before, and so I realized that I didn't give Neko a bump before, and Neko needs a bump. So there you go, $3. And then the last ones that I'm going to talk about these are 5 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, these are 6 games that I want to pick up that I haven't played, and I'm still waiting for a good sale. The first one is the one that I'm still been waiting for, and honestly, if it doesn't show up in the sale, I'm just getting it anyway. It's called Event Zero. Event Zero's historic low is $5, but I have it on my wish list, and I've never seen it on sale since this supposed sale for $5. It's just never gone on. I don't know what's happened, if the developers have abandoned it, or if it's just, I don't know what's going on with it, but I think it's $20 base price, so it's going to be a tough call to pick it up, but I think I'm going to have to, because I think I've waited for 5 sales, and it's just never been on sale. And so the other ones are games that are quite pricey that I want to wait for a sale. One is, of course, Disco Elysium, which is a new title that everyone's been raving about. No real introduction or explanation needed there. It won a lot of awards at the last kind of big games convention thing that they had before all the things got shut down. So yeah, I'm interested to see what it's all about. Another one is Blacksad. Blacksad, the historic low for that is $40. So, I mean, I like the art style. It looks kind of cool, like animals anthropomorphized. Yeah, it looks cool. It's a detective game. It's like a noir game. It looks interesting. I like the art style, but $40 is too much for me to just go in on a whim. Another one is a game that just never seems to go on sale for some reason, and that's Attack on Titan 2. I want to try it, but I do not want to pay $60 for it. If they had a demo at least, I'd give it a shot, and then maybe I'd buy in for the full 60, but there's only so much you can get from watching a playthrough on YouTube. It does look very cool, but I wonder if it plays as well as it looks. And then the last two is another Cthulhu type one, where it's called Aspelov, End of Gods. The historic low is $10, and to be honest, if it goes for 10 this time, I'll probably pick it up, because I missed out on it last time. And it's like Norse mythology plus Cthulhu. Bizarre looking game, but creepy and looks interesting. And then the last one is one that I need to get. It's called Bosch's Damnation. So of course I need that because it's got Bosch in the title. It's a weird point and click that's just pictures, I think. It's an indie game. It's kind of pricey it is $13 at base price, but it's gone for $3. So if I can get it this time for about $5, I'd happily pick it up. So that's it. That's all my that's my kind of picks for this year, or well, That's my picks for the summer sale this year in 2020. I'll give you a link to all the games in the bottom, and you can go and check them out on Steam. And if you've got any games that you think I missed that you'd like to add, please feel free. Put a link down below in the comments, and maybe you can, or if there's games that I don't even know about that I'd like to maybe try. If me and Justin, we play a lot of puzzle kind of games. If you've got some recommendations for us, then leave them down below. All right, thanks a lot. Happy shopping.